Alright, theoretically everything is live. And we have returned for more of the greatness of Titanfall 2 Electric Boogaloo. 2020 is just getting better all the time. But I imagine this year will continue as it always does. It's a good thing he can talk without actually moving his lips. Now this is actually another example of a really excellently designed level. It's like these people actually remind me what I'm doing here. It's like, really, why did he forget already what he was doing? And hello, question mark, and hello, Ross dude. Now, see, this level here actually makes a degree of sense. A degree. Because it would make sense that if you had a primarily automated workforce, that there would be areas where you wouldn't actually expect humans to go. Still, it seems like it's a little more dangerous than one would expect, just saying. But it does give you a good usage of the wall running ability. Now you might wonder though, if they can do the wall running thing, why don't they just have a jetpack? I'm just saying. Might make a little more sense to have an actual jetpack. But whatever, lads and lasses. And hello, Emperor Snake. I have played Resident Evil Revelations 1, but I never finished it because it just wasn't really my thing at the time. I think I got lost on that ship, and I could never figure out where to bloody well go. And I just ended up giving up on it. Revelations looked pretty good, but it just was one of those things where I did not have the patience to play it at that time. I might give it a try at some point in the future. I've not played a Resident Evil game in many years. Yeah, many years. It's kind of interesting. I was into it for a little while and then just kind of forgot that series even existed. Did a bunch of reviews on that as well. You know, I've never actually played this multiplayer. I'm just not that much of a multiplayer kind of person. For me, I generally prefer co-op games if I'm going to do anything multiplayer related. The only multiplayer FPS I really got into, other than Doom, and even then I didn't play Doom multiplayer all that much, is Killing Floor 1 and 2. Those two are absolutely excellent. I liked Killing Floor 1 and 2 a bit more than even Left 4 Dead 2. It just felt like there's a lot more going on in that game. Eventually, I got to review Killing Floor 2. I already reviewed Killing Floor 1. Going back to Killing Floor 1 after 2 is not an easy thing to do, because I forgot how rough Killing Floor 1 really was. But I put way too many hours into both games. Oh, I'm gonna die. No, I'm not. Aha! If only they just gave me a goddamn jetpack instead of this little wall running thing. Also, that just looks really good. I mean, this is one of those games that actually uses the modern day graphics in a way that's actually, you know, constructive. And I really like the fact that it takes this entire facility to run one interstellar beacon, because you would think that, you know, subspace radio or whatever it is, superluminal radio would take a little more. Also, this is just silly. I mean, seriously, look at that. This suit must be, like, stronger than fucking Iron Man's suit or something, because seriously, this should totally be more dangerous than it really is. Okay, and let's try to actually make it. Now, speaking of gaming, actually I'll get to that in just a moment. Come on, make it! Mantle! Oh, CPU, you'll be fine. Fucking Windows. Am I right? Always saying there's some sort of virus even when there isn't. Great, I'm stuck with the space clock. My jump kit can take that fall. Now, look at how far that is. And we're gonna fall all the way down here. The fingerless gloves, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I go on about the fingerless gloves is the sheer amount of kinetic energy you would have from falling that far would literally liquefy your fucking bones, okay? I don't think fingerless gloves are going to protect that. You would need a full body suit, and it would have to have like some sort of inertial dampening field, and then I could buy that. You know, it's one of those problems with Iron Man 1 when he falls from like 500 feet in the Mark 1 suit. That should kill him! Yeah, give me that, you bastard. I'll admit that always makes me feel kind of bad for that robot. Yeah, well, better him than me. But yeah, like, really, Tony Stark should be utterly liquefied. Oh yeah, this is one of those aspects of this being a real game. Now, you could punch him, but, well, I'm not that much of an asshole, and I'm gonna fall. No, I'm not! Haha! Now, this little arc tool thing, of course, is one of those magical devices that just can magically do literally everything because... Sorry, Robros. Better you than me! Ooh, grab the helmet! No. I'm just gonna keep tanking that. Now, realistically, ladies and gentlemen, me being able to tank that should mean that no physical damage should harm me in any way. Like, in any way at all. Because if I can take that, I should be able to take a punch like it was nothing. I should basically be utterly invulnerable to physical— Oh, come on, get in there! Really? 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 It's so improbable! Okay, we improbably survived. Let's see. Hackers, that's always a problem. Glad you like the Medal of Honor review, Ross, dude. I have never played EVE Online. I am well aware of it. It's one of those games where it has like those player-run corporations and stuff like that, which sounds so boring it's not even funny. I've seen somebody play the game before, and it is certainly not my thing. If I want to play a space game, I would rather play Rebel Galaxy or something like that. We have the space double-barreled shotgun. Oh my god, it's the future. Actually, if you've never heard of Rebel Galaxy, I highly recommend giving that game a try. I actually got that as a fan donation, believe it or not. And while the game got boring fast, the soundtrack was absolutely amazing. It was like a rock and roll version of Country, which works better than you'd think. A lot better than you'd think. I actually own Oni, but I've never actually played it. That's one of those pre-Halo Bungie games, which one day I will give a try, but meh. It's one of those things where I'm just not that interested in it. Whoa! Okay, where the hell is that other thing we gotta hit? Or maybe we don't actually have to hit anything. Because I'm like right behind this little thing, whatever that... Because truly, this makes sense. Primary heatsink. Like, who's gonna read that? Who's gonna care? Okay, and jump! I should have all my bones liquefied by this point, but whatever. But whatever. Eat my space double barrel. It's like a DP-12, only... But actually, no, this is not like a DP-12. This is, fucking, pump action. Okay, give me your rifle, please. Thank you. With the very fancy blue red dot sight. I guess I should... Because you'd have doors that would require the arc tool because reasons. Oh yeah, here we go. Whoa, that should... This is actually pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This little running segment, I fucking love this. This is where this game actually became like Alpha Prime status, because it's like, that's just kind of neat. And it actually is fit within real gameplay. Let's see. Sylvia. And yeah, that sounds like EVE Online is way more boring than it should be. That is for people who enjoy, and I died just before I reached the finish line. Sir, no! Well, that universe is very depressing because he died just before the finish line. I don't need to start the ghost... Oh, it's already stopped. I thought it would start up again. Well, that's easy. Now, when it came to EVE Online, the one piece of gameplay I saw was... You know, just call him a grunt. He probably has a rank better than just grunt. I saw that bad walk cycle on those stairs. And how do you know I'm a sir? Theoretically, this character works for a living. I saw this overly involved thing for scanning something. I'm not even sure how the scanning works in EVE Online, but it looked way too complicated for what it was. And the DP-12, I'd like to shoot one of those, but it just seems so unnecessary. It is the copious consumption of the gun world. Now, I'm going to be working on a review for the month of October for this. See if we can get that in frame there. That, ladies and gentlemen, let's make sure we get all the glare all the time. That is a Chinese clone console called the POW Kitty, apparently. I think it also has some sort of numerical designation. It is really quite impressive. It can actually play Quake 2 of all things. Not particularly well, but it can do it. That seemed really dangerous, BT. Just saying. Oh yeah, now once again, our fingerless gloves will protect us. Because we're going to go into this nuclear reactor. The nuclear reactor here. Well, maybe if I had a fully sealed suit and didn't have fingerless gloves. This seems very dangerous. Why was this designed this way? Who did design this? Why would you design anything like this? This makes no sense. It makes no goddamn sense. Oh, it's EA. EA went from making video games. Oh god, the arc tool ran out of energy or has to reload. I'm like being irradiated to the point where my kids will bloody well be mutants. My grandkids will be mutants. That was $40. That was it, off of Amazon. It's still up there if I'm not mistaken. And it can run Quake 2 and a few PlayStation 1 games, not particularly well, but then again, that's to be expected. But the fact that it runs Quake 2, it should theoretically run Doom, even though they did not include the shareware version on there. It can also run Quake 1 pretty well. Well, that was a whole lot of nothing. It can even run Rise of the Triad. I didn't even know there was a random clone port of rot. It can't emulate the audio at all. Like, it is literal ear rape. Look, why don't we just go and do some great parkour adventuring on that bloody thing? It could. I never would have guessed. At least it's not a cutscene. I haven't played a Lost Planet game in over 12 years. You know, I don't know if it can run Alien Resurrection or not. I'll have to try that. Comes with its own little SD card that you can put ROMs on. I'll have to give that a try. I know I can run Resident Evil, because it's one of the first games I tried. Even though it has the Japanese version of Resident Evil, which makes playing the game somewhat difficult. But so far, it looks like it can run... It can run most of the PS1 games that it has included, but it can't run Metal Slug 3 for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. No. Oh, it did it? Now, wait a minute. Here we have something that has unimaginable power. But we're okay because of our fingerless gloves. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, all you need is fingerless. Oh, here's the Wolverine moment. $68%. That's one way to put it, dude. BT, why would you need to put your arm out like that other than just wanting to look cool? That's his EA programming right there. And chuck him! It's awesome, but silly. Which is exactly what you'd want. And according to Matt Groening, underpants is 38% more funny than just underwear. We've got evil Australians and evil Austrians. Wait, what's the difference? Well, I just pissed off 2 different countries now. Oh, it runs GB and GBA games quite well, actually. The best part about that little clone console is just the fact that the D-pad works and isn't crap, and the buttons feel pretty good as well. And the screen, also pretty damn good. I'm going to do a whole review of it sometime this month, assuming I get the time. Assuming I don't have to work 13 hours straight again. God, that was horrible. Assuming. But it runs all the classic games pretty well. It does not run Super Nintendo games nearly as well as it should. There's a lot of graphical glitches. The sound's a bit off. But surprisingly, it runs Sega Genesis games pretty good. Even gets the sound right. And can run it in 60. Which I was quite surprised at. It can even run a few arcade games. It might not be able to do not Resident Evil, but Metal Slug 3. But it can run AVP. Which made me very happy indeed. It sounds a little crunchy, but it works well enough. Especially for a $40 clone console. I mean, you could always build one of those things out of a SP shell and a RetroPie or something, but for 40 bucks and no work, it is definitely a deal worth pursuing if you can find it. I mean, there's better clone consoles out there, but I don't really get the point of that. The whole reason I wanted to get a little portable clone thing was I find myself infrequently needing some sort of portable gaming device. And the SP, I think, is one of the best designs for that. Because it's actually small and it is a clamshell, so it covers up the bloody screen. Which was one of the major deficiencies of the Game Boy Micro. That thing was really small, but that screen got scratched up fast. I still think the Game Boy Micro is one of the best portable systems out there. But except for that goddamn screen issue, because if you had a flash cart back in the day, you had a really nice little machine that, while it couldn't run Super Nintendo games very well, it could run NES and Game Boy and all the rest, and you could do some little custom things with it as well. Fingerless gloves, Atari 2600. You know, the Atari 2600 has aged pretty bad. Just saying. Oh, you gotta play AVP the arcade game. That thing is... AVP the arcade game is best played multiplayer. I actually did play that multiplayer many years ago with MAME and Kellier and NetClient. I actually was able to kill the final boss with as the Predator with a thrown katana. It was the most awesome moment in gaming for myself ever, and I just died. What's kind of funny though is the main human villain of that game. The name has aged a bit. I wonder if the Japanese were even aware of this back in the day. But the main villain, the main human villain outside, is named General Bush. Apparently, oh dear, oh dear. Keep in mind the game is from 1994, so there shouldn't be too much animus towards any of that particular familial line. And smack him! Smack him! I did a review of AVP the arcade game about a decade ago. It was one of those games that by the time I got to emulate it, which was around 2009, I had vague recollections of playing it once at a movie theater. When I finally did get to play the entire bloody game, it was really quite it amazed me with how good it actually was. Because like it was a Capcom beat 'em up, and Capcom made the absolute best beat 'em ups of all time. And we actually have a little puzzle here of all things, a puzzle in an EA game. This is definitely a very rare game for EA to make. I just am quite surprised that they allowed Sledgehammer the freedom to do any of this. This goes to show you, when people actually get the ability to put forth some efforts, they can create something quite extraordinary. Thoughts on the PS2? It was a good console. I've reviewed a whole bunch of PS2 games over the years. I mean, it might have been the weakest of all of the consoles in that generation. Oh crap, that's a lot of bastards. It might have been the weakest console of that generation, but well, it worked. And it doesn't matter if it was extremely weak, so long as it actually had a good game library. I actually ended up getting a PS2 Fat a number of years after I got an Xbox Original. I actually moved to the PS2 because I was so sick of the Xbox Original breaking all the time. I've actually seen some comments where apparently, for a number of people, the PS2 lasted about as long as the Xbox Original did for me, and their Xbox Originals lasted as long as the PS2 did for me, so I was like, who knows. The PS3 wasn't much better than the Xbox 360, though, at least the early Xbox 360, because I got a red ring on that thing, and then when I got a PS3, I got a, oh, what was it? The Yellow Light of Death, almost immediately. But I've never had that good of luck with some of these consoles. And wall run! Oh, come on, Mercs, you don't stand a chance. Gamecube, I actually have one of those, although I don't really use it much, or at all, since you can emulate it. I didn't actually own a Gamecube till 2008. I got that when it was super cheap due to the Wii being popular at the time. I got that for a grand total of 2 games, Smash and Resident Evil 4. And Resident Evil 4 on GameCube was a lot of fun. Smash was fun enough single player, and I'm Dead was fun enough single player. I didn't even have 2 controllers for the GameCube because I had no friends back then. How sad indeed. Let's see. Capcom Plug and Play. Yeah, AVP is going to be one of those games that will probably never see the light of day outside of emulation ever again. Kind of like Simpsons the arcade game. Simpsons the arcade game is one of those things that that thing is positively unique because it came out just when The Simpsons started out. Oh, although why would a kick to the shin kill me? I'm just saying. It's like, if I can jump from 50 stories up, surely a kick to the shin should be nothing, but whatever. Oh, man, I just barely missed it. Yeah, well, fuck it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna either fall into the abyss or run right over here. And we should probably get out the Space DP-12. And just blast the bastards! Space, double-barreled shotgun! That was a really sick reloading animation, even though realistically in the future they shouldn't be using that, but whatever. I mean, seriously, how hard would it be for the space future to have, you know, magazine-fed shotguns, but whatever. I never really got into Smash outside of just enjoying it for what it was. I never really got into the whole competition scene with that. If I'm not mistaken, Smash Brothers Melee had like a little single-player campaign. I vaguely remember playing that many years ago, and I am so dead if I don't get some actual goddamn cover. And yeah, the Atari 2600 has not aged nearly as well as, say, the NES or systems from that era. Like, I'd say even the Intellivision has aged a little better than the 2600. The 2600 is just a little too abstract for a gamer from my generation to really appreciate. I do own an Atari 2600 clone console, and I have played it on a few occasions, but it's not a system I ever try to emulate just because it's like, meh. Actually, it makes me wonder. It's like we've got gaming in gaming. Oh my god. Let's see if we can get some too. There we go. Okay, let's see. Does this have an Atari 2600 emulator on it? And the answer is no, they didn't even bother with that. Well, that kind of sucks. I thought they might have had one on there. Yeah, well, they have the Wonder Swan of all things on here. Because when I think of systems I want to emulate, it's the Wonder Swan. Because it had all the, and the game about, and that one. I don't even know if the Wonder Swan was even released in the US. I assume it must have been, but I never saw it back in the day. Let's see. Why can I go over here? It must be some sort of collectible or something then. Nope. Just death. Wait, no, not death. But life. Come on, mantle! Mantle! See, this is one of those things where this is supposed to be an EA game, but clearly so much more freedom because we can actually go off the beaten path for like a second without the game saying, "We're going to kill you for going off the beaten path, you bastard. You will stay on the path. You shall never deviate." Yeah, Rogue Squadron 2 was on the Gamecube. Oh yeah, I also bought the Gamecube for that game as well. I just forgot about it. Let's see. Yeah, that system can also emulate the Neo Geo Pocket as well. That was a system I never saw back in the day either, although from YouTube videos, apparently it had a really good joystick. Apparently. We're gonna project all the fake news. Wait, no. We're not gonna do that. Okay, and... I ain't dead yet, son. Let's see. It is possible to emulate Area 51 so long as you emulate the PlayStation 1 version. I could never get the arcade version to emulate properly or at all. And I'm not really sure why. It just doesn't work for whatever reason. But the PS1 version is virtually identical, and that one does indeed work. Now, where is that bastard? There's the big guy. Oh, that's beautiful. Sadly, it did not actually kill him. Okay, come on. That killed him, though. It hurt me a little bit. Smack him! Smack him! Go, Robro, go! Oh! Robro is, savage there. Just ripped his heart out. That's not 3 laws compliant. That guy just exploded. I don't know, these robots, man. I don't like the way they're looking at me. This is why we need to stay 3 laws compliant, people. You know, you guys are absolutely horrible. But then again, they're probably conscripts, so we gotta pity them just a little bit. This is so dangerous. Why would you design it like this? But then again, in real life, it's not much better. Which Max Payne is the best? That's a hard thing to decide. I have not played Max Payne 2 since 2005, I want to say. So I'm going to say Max Payne 1, just because I don't remember anything about Max Payne 2. I think like they add some new characters in Max Payne 2, but that's about all I remember. I need to play that game again. I haven't. Just haven't had a chance to really look at it in a while. Okay, and zap it, zap it. You know, dude, I help those who help themselves. Zap, zap, zap. I'll actually read the chat in just a second. I have to finish my epic wall running. It's like parkour, man. It's where you become the running shoe! Haha! That was a really weak mantle there. Okay, let's see. Wonder Swan back. And hello, Ludwig von Victor. Let's see. Shoots at that dude's heart in Terminator. And yeah, there's one thing I do like about some of those classic films, though, is they don't show you all that, though. Come on, and trap! Oh, come on, I totally should be able to grab that. It's one thing I do like about some of those classic films is because they don't belabor the point. You don't actually see Arnie rip out the heart, and you don't see a bunch of... and the soundtrack doesn't start blaring. It's one thing I do find annoying about modern-day films in many respects, is they completely and totally lack subtlety. You don't need much subtlety. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Come on, grab it! Oh, come on! I totally hit X. Let's see. And the day was long and difficult, but I was able to survive it. Okay, and we're gonna drop down. Grab it! Grab it! I'll zap you. Oh, I can zap him. Realistically, this arc tool should be like... it is literally a war crime. It'd be nice if this had non-3 round burst. I imagine that trigger is atrocious in real life. Okay, I did not mean to use an EMP grenade, but I guess that works. 3 round bursts do not work in real life, ladies and gentlemen. They are crappy. Oh crap, he is just getting completely wrecked. Oh man, that's rough. Oh crap, that's rough for me too. Let's embark, because evidently your brain is running Windows 98. It must be running Windows 98 because you're using a crap weapon, you bastard. Grab it, grab it. I am being shot by literally everything. I'm being shot by all the crunchies. Surely, if I'm this tough, why would these little bullets even remotely hurt me in any way? Could it be gameplay versus story segregation? And segregation is wrong. Alright, and blast up. I think there's one guy left alive over there, but he'll just hide in a pool of his own cowardice. But is Windows 98 working right? T1 or T2? I would say T1 is the superior film, but T2 is very close to it. I guess it really just depends on how much you like the character of John Connor. The character John Connor in T2 is still pretty good, but I don't know, I just like the dynamic between Kyle and Sarah a lot more. And wind up in a toss! Every bone in his body would be liquefied, especially when he missed the jump. Thankfully, it starts me right up here. And also, there's just so many more quotable lines in Terminator 1. Uzi 9mm. Just what you see here, pal. And my favorite of them all. God damn! You know, it's really random muscle-bound guy in a leather jacket carrying an Uzi and an AR-10 is just not something you see every day. It is kind of funny to think that the AR-10 is still fairly popular to this day. It's something that definitely has not become a forgotten weapon. I've never played State of Emergency. As for the old Halloween, not gonna be doing much at all. Just because there's no real place to go these days due to the, that which shall not be named. Oh, but you know, Random Merc dude, if you do it right, even if I died, I would technically be remembered years after I died, you know? They'd literally build statues of me, and then stupid teenagers would tear them down, but whatever. They'd call me a racist for just being alive. And smash him! Now, Sunday, there's actually going to be a classic Let's Play, believe it or not. I was able to get on the closed beta for Proteus. If you haven't heard of Proteus, I highly recommend checking that out. It is a Doom clone in every sense of the word. It has the aesthetics of Doom 2016, but the gameplay of the original Doom. Having played the one closed beta level, holy crap is it good. I'm really looking forward to it because it actually has the music, the levels, and the gameplay of an actual id tickler. Something even better than Dusk. You know, I gotta admit, I forgot what we were supposed to do here. This happened the first time I played the game, because it's like, what did I grab? Why did I need it? Why did that break? Oh my god, we got more parkour! And every bone in my body just got broken. He doesn't even have sleeves! He doesn't even have sleeves, it makes no sense! I don't know. Scorn is something that I would not hold my breath on that. If you want an AR-180, you can get the BR-110 upper. It uses the same gas system, but will work with a standard AR-15 lower. They're supposed to be pretty good. With proper ammo, you can potentially get half MOA. Potentially. With expensive ammo. I'm talking the good shit, not Tula. For me, I never really go for super accuracy anyway. It's like, I like to have volume. It's why I quite like just Tula or Bernul, or... I don't think it's pronounced Bernul. Bernal, I think is how that's pronounced. Give me steel case and adequate accuracy over... I get to shoot 5 times and then I spent $50. Or it could be a giant monster. My biggest problem with that, though, that it's like, okay, that's not really I don't think any military force ever really used that to motivate their troops outside of conscripts. So now I feel bad killing all these guys because they're just poor conscripts. Bullocks. Let's see that. Non-favorite. I don't know what you said, dude. I'll assume that's just a swear word. Also, I'm right next to you. I could totally have grabbed you and killed you while you were standing out there waving your dick about. See, what you're supposed to... If you're going to shoot, shoot. If you're going to talk. Or however that fucking quote goes. Oh, it's not excessive damage. You're fine, BT. Don't be a pussy. You're only missing part of a leg. It's a core! Oh, maybe I will die. Oh, I just got one tiny... Oh, dead. No, grab it! About to go Chernobyl. Alright, I actually gotta pay attention. Actually, he's really hurt, so I'm not doing too bad. He's speaking some sort of space language. What if it was created for the game? Probably. I'm just gonna piss off everybody by saying that. Some sort of unpronounceable space language. Okay, grab batteries. I'm glad those batteries are conveniently located in the boss arena. If they weren't, I'd be kind of screwed. Come on, come on. Come on. Let's see. Favorite non-me reviewer. That's a good question. Many of my favorite ones no longer do anything anymore. I would actually say... Oh. It's like Berlin all over again. And hello, Atomic. I've never heard of G-Man, I don't think. Oh, I think I watched some of his stuff a long time ago. And that Civi 11, I think I've seen some of his stuff a long time ago, too. I still am quite partial to that happy video game nerd guy. But I don't really watch that many gaming reviews anymore. Because they never really do it in the style that I like. And they never really review games I like that much either. Crossbow upper for the AR-15? I need to look that up. I would have thought the Windows 95 source code would be leaked a long time before now. I think I've also heard of Gaming Pastime, but I don't think I've watched much of that person's stuff either. LGR doesn't really review many games anymore, but I'm also quite partial to him as well. Yes, yes, uphold the law. Narc. She should be happy she has the last name of Briggs instead of something like Pinebox. That'd be very embarrassing. Oh, we're actually getting close to the end of the game. That is some hair, alright, though. And mascara. My god. She looks almost as bad as Admiral Holdo. Objection! Since you're the commander, shouldn't you not look like you're about ready to go, you know, to a rave? Like you just came from Hot Topic. Let's see. Silent Rob? I have not heard of that person. DW Terminator, I think I've heard of, but I just don't really watch. These days, I primarily watch either history YouTube channels or gun YouTube channels. The game reviewers that I used to like no longer do anything anymore. Like, most notably, the Spoony one. A lot of these people just never go into the kind of detail that I like, and so I just never really get into them all that much. There should be some sort of regulations on that, because my god. Commander, couldn't they just, like, drop rocks? It seems like overly complicated stuff, but whatever. Commander, did you just say that because that sounded cool? Yes. And it is pretty cool, although I will have to ask, why are those starships, so close to the planet? Is this gonna be one of those J.J. Abrams things where they forget that spaceships belong in, well, space? Actually, hold on. Let's actually grab a real weapon here. Let's grab the old quad rocket here. Oh my god, it's so awesome! Even if the military tactics are kind of dubious, but whatever. Of course, real military tactics would be pretty boring, though, because, like, we'd be shooting at something many, many miles away. We wouldn't even really see the enemy. But being able to run up to somebody and shoot them is just much cooler than what a simulator would be like. Like Mechwarrior. Which is a pretty good series, if one that I haven't really played extensively throughout the years. Let me put it this way, to me, I'd rather be doing this. Actually, let's grab a different weapon here. I'd rather be playing a more arcade game than something like that, anyway. Even if Mechwarrior is technically a superior mech game. Now, being able to play Mechwarrior in one of those little pods, now that is a lot of fun, even if I lost literally every time. But that should be expected. And blast him! Yes, I have watched CN Arsenal. I'm quite fond of some of his stuff. The only problem is, he goes into almost too much detail, and it's hard to really get the main idea from his stuff. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. But damn! Oh, come on, you still got 3 bars of health, dude. You'll be fine. Oh, crap. I am being bashed about the head and shoulder. Oh god, that was not fun. Run! Salvo core that's not gonna hit anything. Oh, wait, no, I got him. Get away from me! Leave me alone! You know, my teammates aren't very good at what they do. I'm just saying, it's like... Well, okay, maybe he wasn't so bad. Even if his moves are a little silly looking. Just a little. Let's see. color shed. Never even, don't even know what that implies. And yeah, that was very interesting to say the least. Really do. Just get out of the way. Why would you get right in front of me? Let's see. Saw that Serious Sam 4 billion dude opening. I have not looked at Serious Sam 4, mainly because I just Serious Sam is a great enough game series, but it's not my favorite, so I'm not that excited. I'll get to it eventually. Eventually. Let's see. Mercenaries 2 or Just Cause 2? I'd say Just Cause 2. I think Larry Correa put it best. That it was basically just two people screaming at each other for however long that was. I didn't even watch it, to be perfectly honest, because I really don't give a damn. Like, at all. Because ultimately, they're gonna say a bunch of crap, and that's about it. If I want to hear people say a bunch of crap, I'll just talk to myself. Wait, no. That's not narcissistic at all. But yeah, it's like, nothing of substance is ever said at any of those debates anyway. In fact, when it comes to politics, nothing of substance is ever really said to begin with. Because it's politics. But yeah, Mercenaries 2 was actually a halfway decent game, but not anywhere near as good as Mercenaries 1. What was kind of funny is that when Mercenaries 2 was released, a bunch of people clearly had never played that game because a lot of people were very fond of talking about how many airstrikes were in Mercenaries 2 when Mercenaries 1 had them as well. Make sure, I'm glad you specified they were IMC Titans. I thought they would be like, you know, the Orlov Combine or something. Blast him! Oh, I am so hurt. Run! Run! The Scorch, eh? Scorch, no! How did you go evil? I think this Scorch pilot is clearly a necrophiliac. Guess what? I just smacked you in the face. No, I did not! No. Oh, that's my own side. Oops. Sorry. That's some sexism. And smack him! It's like, we could shoot him, or we could smack him. Smack him's just so much more enjoyable. Watch some Cowboy Bebop. You know, I was just reading about Cowboy Bebop today, randomly. And that would be much more entertaining than, listening to a bunch of political crap. It's just one of those things. That only smart people. Or people who like to listen to a bunch of canned crap. Yeah, I played Mercenaries 2 on the 360. It's one of my earliest 360 games, if I'm not mistaken. One of the bigger problems with Mercenaries 2 is it's substantially more cynical than Mercenaries 1. In Mercenaries 1, it was clear that the Allied nations were the good guys, whereas in Mercenaries 2, oil. Ugh. But when it comes to all the crap that's going on in terms of politics, it's hard for me to really care that much. Whatever happens, happens, man. That's just kind of how that goes. It's like, I'll cast my vote for whoever I want to cast it for, and whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, you know? Stay out of the cities. Just saying. Stay out of the cities. These people are gonna go nuts no matter who wins. Have food on hand. And ammo. Lots and lots of ammo. If you don't have lots and lots of ammo, hide. Because it's gonna get real. You know, it's just a little scratch on the paint, you know? Besides, there's 2 batteries right there. You'll be fine. Sniper Elite games. I have played Sniper Elite V2 and a little bit of Sniper Elite 3. They were okay. They never really inspired me to want to play any more than I already have had. Let's see. Saints Row. I played Saints Row 4 a little bit because of the superpowers thing and never really got into that either. Those just never really impressed me that much. When it comes to open world games kind of like that, I'm actually a much bigger fan of the Crackdown games. By which I mean I only played Crackdown 1, but I quite enjoyed that. Because you actually got to play as a legitimately heroic character, mostly. But I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't played it. I'm eventually going to review Crackdown, if ever I get a chance to get around to it. And... oh, damn it. Salvo Core! Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let's sneak around here. I was already dead. But did he know it yet? I don't know. Mercenaries 2 with... helicopters were pretty good. But there were helicopters in Mercenaries 1 as well. Let's see. There's no way to actually ban firearms in the US. It's just it's virtually impossible, especially now, just because in order to do that, you'd have to basically repeal most of the Constitution, and then you would have to send send armed forces to people's homes. That's not going to end well, and I don't even think it could even happen now, especially after everything that's happened. There's just not enough people to do it. I think they might try, but it's going to be one of those things of, you can pass a law, but can you enforce it? Especially now. Because a lot of yesterday's anti-gunner is today's, please give me AR-15. It might be evil, but I don't want to die. Yeah, I have played True Crime Streets of LA. I actually completed that game too. That was one of the first open world games I ever finished. Played that on the original Xbox. It even has a little side mission that's a callback to my brain stopped working. Big Trouble in Little China. There we go. We have to fight a dragon. True Crime Streets of LA is a little weird though, because it actually has a full-fledged melee combat system that is remarkably good for 2000, whatever the hell. The driving's a bit off, and it's very easy to... There's a morality mechanic in that game where you can either be a good cop or a bad cop. And if you want to be a good cop, well, like in real life, you can't just shoot random people. You have to try to arrest everyone. And that is not easy. Not easy at all. But, as you'd expect, I did it. It's definitely a game that's a product of its time in some respects, though. Because the weapon you start out with is very, very early 2000s. You start out with dual 38 special revolvers. Which, well, by 2020, the revolver is pretty much obsolete in terms of police usage. But you level up your weapons throughout the game by completing shooting challenges, and you eventually end up with dual Desert Eagles. Because if you're going to be a Los Angeles cop, you know you got to have a Desert Eagle. And that was also a guy on my side. Good thing I didn't just blast a salvo core at him. Let's see... I've heard of Yakuza, but never really played it much. Let's see. You know, I never got Crackdown 2, mainly because I heard it was just basically a reskin of Crackdown 1. Let's see here. I don't think GTA 3 was the first, but I think it was one of the first 3D ones. The Desert Eagle is one of those things where it's a fun gun. It's kind of like getting a Glock and 460 Roland. It's meant to be fun, or it's even like the classic 44 Magnum. I mean, I'm glad I have it, but As much as I like my 44 Magnum, I never get to shoot it. Because there's just so many other guns I'd rather shoot, and it's like... It usually just stays in the vault. The Deagle is cool, don't get me wrong, because, well, a 50 caliber semi-auto handgun, that's just one of those awesome kind of things. If I was going to waste a crap ton more money on, like, some sort of Magnum, though, I would totally get something in 460 Roland, just because, well, it's a bottlenecked 45 Magnum kind of thing. It's one of those things where it sounds awesome, but it's kind of worthless for any sort of practical purposes. No crap, I am completely out in the open, and I can't just dance around like the... Oh, it's not that excessive. We're gonna cause excessive damage, though. Oh, you bastard. Be nice if I could fly. Come on. Does Titanfall 2 have an anime intro? Is there enough angst for that? Oh, you're barely hurt, BT. Must you be such a pussy all the time? Must you be so angsty? It's because you're related to Skynet, and Skynet was mean to you as a kid. Wait, no. Nope, no way to make it. Well, the Deagle will definitely not be a good PDW weapon, that's for sure. Unless, of course, you're being attacked by bears or something like that. But it definitely is a cool firearm, to say the least. Let's see. 50 games on your desktop. Well, pick one and play it. And yeah, a Glock would be more practical. Exactly. A 9mm handgun is the best option for personal defense. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play a little bit more. I don't think I'll actually finish the level, though, just because this does go on a bit long. Now, this is stupid right here. Speaking of Glock, there is going to be a review of a Glock 17 clone, because I'm going to be assembling one of those. Okay, this is stupid, but it's cool. Because, look at this. These are spaceships. Should they not be in space? Why are they not in space? Why? Why would you have Star Destroyers come up from the ground? Why not in space? Why would you land the Enterprise in water? Why? It's not a fucking boat. It's a starship. But this is pretty cool. Because we're about to actually do something awesome. Also, why is there this railing here? Why is there any... Oh, wait, no, I guess... This still doesn't make any sense, though, but whatever. Wouldn't, like, that exhaust kill everyone? Because... Now, this is also very Animu right here. It's like, okay, this little mech flying around, nobody can hit that? How many missiles does it have? Why does it have so many missiles? Oh my god! Well, my bones were just liquefied, but whatever. And realistically, BT should have gone right through that hull metal, but whatever. Why is there a battleship flying? Shouldn't these ships go a lot faster than this? I'm just saying. I'm just saying here. Yeah, but you're a machine, so. This is awesome, but really stupid. They're not just 6'4", they're the 6'4". Why? Oh. Why are there guns on the side like that? But whatever. But still, though, this is pretty cool. It is pretty cool, but really stupid, because this makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why are these ships not going any faster? Why aren't they in space? I guess, you know, falling like 50 to 100 feet makes sense. But, you know, having a guy with fingerless gloves in space makes no sense. Oh, no, you don't, you busted. Oh, come on, get over there. You guys suck. Maybe you could not fly near the ship or go into space. I kind of... Okay. This blowing up right here should literally kill everyone. Or maybe you could have slowed... There are so many ways you could have stopped yourself from getting blown to pieces. So many ways. I'll check the chat again. BT in space, that'd be interesting. It is very much like the Animus. Let's see. Escape from Tarkov. I have not. And I've played Insurgency 1 for a little bit. Never really got into it. I don't know what Escape from Tarkov is. I've just heard it mentioned a lot. Do I not have my multi-tool? No, I don't, apparently. Oh well. I will smack that guy. You know, you'd have better luck, dudes, if you actually had armor that, you know, covered your arms. You know, you are in the future, after all. Hey, I finally have a mag-fed shotgun. Truly, we have entered the future. But still, though, couldn't these guys fly a little higher, or, you know, it just seems like there's a way to avoid a lot of this. It's like, at least they're not winning the battle through the power of music. At least we've got that. Because if I'm not mistaken, there was a Robotech anime. Well, they're all anime, but there's a Robotech series specifically where they were able to defeat whatever the villain in that series is with music. I have not actually watched Robotech in many, many years. I think, like, the villain in that show looked a lot like, Thrawn, for whatever reason. And I'm not gonna waste a bullet on you, dude. I'm just gonna smack you. I'm actually gonna go ahead and end the stream when we get to the boss fight. It'll be so... this is so improbable. I love it. But I can't help but shit on it as well, because... So you've got Draws, Gates, Davis, and Bear. So Davis here must be pretty boring, because he doesn't have a fancy name. Okay, so... It's so improbable! You jump from one ship to the next! It's like... And wait a minute, are we really trying to sneak over here? That makes no sense! How would they not see us jump in there? Unless they're literally the dumbest people... Well, it is the space future, so maybe IQs are going low. It's idiocracy! Let's see... If you know when it comes to webs... Take you to a raid... And yes, that is true. Let's see. English subs, not bad. Let's see. Yeah, I take it seriously. Because it's more fun to complain than just to go like, meh. Although I would love to see that, like, all the ammo they're using is brass case. One of the great ammo developments I think we'll see at some point is polymer case that can be reloaded like brass case ammo and is, like, way cheaper than brass. Or reloadable steel case. I could go for that. And chuck! As crazy as this is, I still love the combat though, because it actually is multi-tiered warfare. It's like, oh, that's one thing I like about modern day shooting, is it feels a little more realistic to some degree. But then half the time you don't even really get gameplay. You just get cutscene after cutscene. Oh, that should get him. Nope, he just barely survived. Grenades are always so much weaker in games than they are in real life. This seems also unlikely. Why would you design your bridge this way? Why would you design it with this big glass window overlooking the hangar bay? Who designed this? Who, I ask you? Who? Whomst? This is not a garbage game, it's great. This is clearly a design flaw in this bridge. It's clearly just, yeah. I'll go ahead and finish this boss fight. Also, I love how the data knife. The data knife. It's beautiful. It's like, it's not just a knife, it's a data knife. It's like, it's a USB stick that you can literally stick people with. Also coming soon, the USB dildo. Also, I love how, like, my hand here is in 30 frames per second, but the rest of the game is 60. Now, there are many different ways we could do this. This seems very dangerous. Draws, you want to move? Because he could have totally smacked you. Also, I gotta say, if BT's strong enough to smash through that glass, how weak is that glass? Why would you have a glass window going into your bridge? It seems very, irresponsible. They do? What if, like, everybody shot a missile at you at once? Could you dodge all of that? I don't think you could. I don't think you could, dude. Let's see. You might have the power of belief, but I don't. And also, you had to bring your little buddies that I'm gonna vaporize. It's like, am I the only one that has a... Oh, crap. Where is that bastard? Oh, there. No, there's a fucking flamethrower. It's a good thing there are plenty of cores just laying around because, reasons. How many missiles do you have? Are you gonna say Fox for every missile? And I'm gonna die. Because I'm already tired. Let's blast him. We're at least gonna blast one guy before we die. Oh, I knocked him off! Wow, okay. I'm that good. I rolled a nat 20. Let's see. Vortex right. Let's see. And yes, used a knife. What future games am I excited for? Funny you should say that, agnostic libertarian, Cyberpunk 2077. That is the only game I really am looking forward to out. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm also looking forward to Proteus as well. Because that game looks like it's going to be awesome. You know, Viper, you were like 2 years older than me. You don't really earn the ability to say son. Alright, now where the hell is that bastard? Actually, let's grab one of these. Let's do the old salvo core! Oh, I love that salvo core. Shitload of missiles, man. Shitload of missiles. He sounds like a 12-year-old that's trying to learn how to fly a fighter jet. Oh yeah, Squadrons. I don't know if that's gonna... It's set in the Disney continuity, so I really don't care. Also, the bullet drop on this is a bit improbable as well. It's illogical! Really, Viper? Viper? Oh, you just watched that on Aliens. Dude. Oh! I think we'll fit. Oh, I'm falling through the ship. I think. Nah, let's try to kill him. Let's try to kill him one more time. So, okay, just so everybody knows, Viper was such a shitty anime villain that I was literally killed by the most deadly enemy of them all, a door. Truly, the door. The most evil, the most horrible villain ever devised. I mean, Viper just, you know, he thinks he's cool, but he's not as cool as the door. The door kills all. It's almost as bad as the floor. Salvo core! Yeah, why are you running? Let's see. I thought about getting Bannerlord, but eh. I quite enjoyed Mountain Blade 1, but I just don't have time to play that many games, and it's like, eh. I already did the Mountain Blade thing. I conquered Caldera with my Swadian Knights, so I'm happy. And Cyberpunk 2077, it should be a fairly fun RPG. Yes, because we're the only one with all the plot armor. Ready to have my bones liquidated again? Oh my god! Top 10 anime rivals. His fingers would be broken so many times, he literally would barely have hands. Now, this is pretty awesome, though. I'm not gonna lie. I am taking the shot, but he's not dying. I took the shot. Let's see. Thoughts on The Mandalorian? Mandalorian was a very disappointing show, to say the least. It started out strong, but basically became nothing more than a bunch of filler. Oh, come on, get up. Got him. That is definitely a weak point. You just walked right through me, BT. How could you? Am I nothing to you? Evidently. That's a lot of fire, just saying. It would be pretty dangerous even from this distance. It's a good thing BT these hallways are big enough for BT, just saying. This is still pretty awesome, though. And the fact that we actually have control and it's not a goddamn cutscene. BT, by smashing that, wouldn't that kill everyone? I am being irradiated, BT. How could you? BT, my fingerless gloves won't allow me to touch the obviously super powerful. Well, Cooper just melted into a puddle of protoplasm. This is still cool, but really dumb. That would melt you, BT, so fast. BT, that's not really gonna help when we hit the ground. No, the fingerless gloves will protect him. What era of music? I would say my favorite era of music is still 1970s through 80s. Two of my favorite albums come from the 1970s, Sin After Sin and Stained Class by Judas Priest. You know, I actually backed Chivalry back in the day. I played it a grand total of once. Hence why I stopped kind of backing games that... let's see. Sparta! Oh, what's a NAF? It crashed on a ship. It shouldn't matter. Well, I am the protagonist. Wouldn't you just do that anyway, even if I didn't do it? Good and bad exist, even in general. Even if good and bad can change depending upon the person. But I still believe that there is a universal good and bad. But then again, people can always debate with semantics. He said it just because he thought that sounded cool. Oh, that guy vaped. Wouldn't they have, like, disassembled BT RoboCop style? Oh, that had to hurt. He vape, bro. Now, this is where the game gets even sillier. I'm gonna totally bring this up in the review too, because, like, hoo boy. It's like, once again, this is meant to be emotional. It's meant to be cool, but oh man, this is just dumb. It's just dumb. It's very much Michael Bay logic here about what's about to happen. Actually, no, I guess we have to go over here. There we go. Optimus! Could you talk faster? Because I'm literally on foot. The sear kit. That's built into his eye. Why is it built into his eye? I don't know. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why would you build that into the eye there? Why would you do this? That implies that that's most of what's in there is a pistol and his AI core and a knife. So in his little ocular thing, they got a pistol and a knife. And yes, that's his AI core. His AI core is his eye. The obvious glowing blue thing that everyone's gonna shoot at is his AI core. Why? I don't know. Because it looks cool. We gotta hack it. We got the hardcore USB stick that's gonna magically do that. But it's like, come on, have it be like in his back or something, not his eye. Why would you design it like that? And yeah, he is like Uncle Bob from T2. I mean, this is very much a game based in RoboCop and T2, and I'm just gonna make fun of the logical flaws in this game because there are many. It is very much an Animu thing, like this magic pistol that is super accurate. It's like, why aren't we using this in combat? And don't give me any bullshit about the bullets are too expensive. This is the space future. Really? It's what is everyone else just they don't have the burning justice enough. And yeah, good can be corrupted into evil quite easily. But in my mind, there still is a universal good though. And universal good is where it's kind of, well, it's somewhat hard to explain in some respects. A universal good is one where basically, I guess the best way to put it is the causing of death and pain is a universal bad in my mind, so the universal good is the opposite of that. The freedom to choose is a universal good in my opinion. Now that can lead to bad, but without the freedom to choose, you don't really have control over your own life. And that, in my mind, is a universal evil. So it would not be very popular on college campuses. Because people don't even think there's even such a thing as free will. But that need not detain us at this time. You see, like, for me, it's like the multiplayer, oh my god! It's a good thing that, I can just pop that in and he's okay. There's not even little armor bits over it, it's just sort of there. Nicholson? Where did you get that machine gun? Good thing I can just run right up there. Oh yeah, I remember that. Like, they said mankind. It's like, how dare you? How dare you? And we've got... Just vaporize everything. Because, well, chain gun. Because, well, the gun of mini barrels dominates all. So what does the smart core do? Other than just infinite bullets, infinity bullets. Oh, it's just a massacre! Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, you'll be fine. Oh, well, maybe not. Damn it. I'll check the chat real quick. I don't know if they have a college that would be considered conservative or not. You never really hear about them. Oh, well, I'm tired. I'll continue playing the game next week. Oh, well, see you, Ross, dude. Good timing. Oh, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm General Lotz. I'm going to continue wishing you a good Titanfall 2, even if it is a bit silly, or whatever makes you happy.